And so the dangerous thing about life, Neo, always challenge and reevaluate what you think you know to be true. If a person is not cognizant, evolving, growing, and challenging themselves, you can have something that's been an advantage for you your whole life. And then you can get to a certain stage and phase and you can't break through the ceiling because the thing that was once your advantage has now become your disadvantage because you haven't evolved and grew past that level. Prime example, I'm an extremely ambitious individual. Been that way my whole life. But when I get a wife and some children, I gotta temper that a little bit, because if not, I can be so ambitious and driven, I can drive myself right into becoming a public success, but a private failure.
It has to work or it has to work.
Welcome to another episode of Circle of Greatness. This episode I am extremely excited for, right? And the reason why, listen, I get to bring you guys one of the top speakers in the world. Listen, I got about a top 3, right? And I could tell you I'm gonna give you 3 of them. You got, top 5, right? I got E.T., I got Marcus Warosier, I got Darius Daniels. But by far, this is one of my favorites, one of the GOATs. And he don't know how much of a role that he's played in my life with just the mentality and his attitude that he portrays with his wife, with his just work ethic, right? And everything he do, just giving it everything he got. My brother, the one and only, Inky Johnson. What's up, my guy?
My God, man.
Hey, bro, thank you for coming on, bro.
Oh, man.
I'm grateful for you taking time out to just get on. It means so much to me,
man.
bro.
You know, it's nothing but love, respect, admiration, bro. And like, I want to say this before we get started. I'm so happy for you.
I appreciate
you. Know what I'm saying? So proud of you, man. You, your family. You know, we go way back to when you brought me to Philly.
Yeah.
Years ago, before I was even out there like that, and we shared time together. I never forgot that, right? Even with our foundation, me and my wife, never forget, we doing an event, donation come through, Neo, you know what I'm saying? Just didn't hit me up and ask, none of that. Just did it, you know, you solid for that, man.
I appreciate you, man. I'm just happy, thanks for coming on, Ink, man. Just, bro, your work ethic, man, is it is unmatched, I get from you, like, I never cheated the process.
No doubt.
Like, and I just wish more people could understand, like, the importance of, like, I got this all-in mentality, but I took a lot of that mindset that I got from you. I never cheated the process. I say how you do anything, how you do everything. It's just, and that's how everything you do, you give it everything you got.
Absolutely.
And I just think if we as a people can get that through, I feel like we could change the world, but more importantly, people could change their life.
Yes,
if you just stop making excuses. And I know you
yes, sir.
No excuse guy.
No doubt, no doubt. You know, Neo, man, I often tell people, bro, I'm so grateful for my injury, for my life, for my upbringing, right? Particularly and specifically my injury, right? And so we know what happened. I got a paralyzed right arm and hand. And oftentimes we talk about that and discuss that. But what it showed me in terms of the fragility of life and the sense of urgency that it gave me was different, right? When you do something for so long and do it on a certain level, and then you wake up one day and you can no longer do it, and your life is altered by it, and it shows you the lack of control that you have toward life, it changes you, right? And so I was talking to one of my buddies last week, and we was just talking about the situation that happened with Damar Hamlin, player for the Buffalo Bills. Unfortunate situation. Grateful the medical staff was there. Grateful my man back rolling by the grace of God. But we was talking about it, and he said, Ink, how does that make you feel? Right? He said, what type of emotions did that give you? Because I know you suffered an injury. I was like, man, it sent a lot of emotions. I said, but it made me look at life totally different. I said, you know what, man? I was taking my kids to school this morning. And as I was taking my kids to school this morning, it was raining in Atlanta and I saw so many accidents, right? Accident after accident after accident. I said, I guarantee you, not one of those people left their house that morning and said, you know what? I'm going to get in an accident today. Not one of them, right? And I guarantee you some people's lives were altered as a result of that accident. Some people might have lost their lives. Nobody planned it. They got up with the perspective of, I'm going to get dressed, I'm going to go to work. I'm going to get dressed, I'm going to take my children to school. And a situation happened that was outside of their control. And so when I do things, because I know the fragility of life, I do it with the perspective of I'm going to give everything I got to it. So if something was to happen to me, if somebody had to report back to my son, my daughter, my wife, my 3 little sisters, my mother, my father, they could say to him, man, what happened to Ink was unfortunate.
Yep.
But let me tell you what he brought to the environment I was in with him. Let me tell you how he did it. I watched him speak for the last time. Man, let me tell you the energy he brought. Yep. Let me tell you the articulation he brought to it, right? And so doing things in such a way that if something was to happen, that doesn't mean that it is going to happen. But if something was to happen, right, how will people speak about you, right? And we live with this arrogance thinking as if we're promised tomorrow, we're promised a month from now, we're promised next year. But when you really think about life, bro, you're not promised tomorrow. You're not promised a month from now. And so do it in such a way that if that was your last time doing it, how would you want people to speak about you?
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy. I was watching, I think you was on the pivot. And you was just like, you are naive to think that you're going to return home that night. Like,
no question.
People, all right, I see you later, babe. You hope.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's how we talk.
Yeah, we do. And that's the thing I'm trying to push through to our people. And that's one of your earlier concepts you always used to talk about. I got from you, empty the bucket.
No question.
Like when you wake up in the morning, I don't go to sleep at night. It's no night that I go to sleep. My homies at my house last night, while they there, I fell asleep on them. We in the theater. I just couldn't. Because I gave my day everything that I had. So it's no night that I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go to bed tonight at 9. I don't even know setting a time to go to bed, because I don't go to bed until either the job is done or I just have nothing left in me. Because I got that from you, like, yo, you got to give your day everything you got.
Absolutely.
So I'm trying to spend time with the family. I'm trying to make some money. I'm trying to impact some lot. Like,
absolutely.
I'm not trying to waste one of these days.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
So if I could get through our people, I'm like, yo, you got to start maximizing. And here's the other thing. You got to start work. Why is it important to start working on your dreams now? Like, people always keep thinking, I'm going to start the business next year.
Yeah.
I'm going to start it next month. I'm going to do it in a few more years.
Absolutely.
But it's so crazy. And you just said it. I don't know how many other ways we could say it, but you're crazy to think that you may be here next year.
Yeah, man. And it's like, the thing that gets me, Neo, is like, people are incredible, man.
Yeah.
Like, gifted, talented, skillful. Like, all of us in this room, the dope thing about it, all of us possess different skill sets, different talents and abilities, right? I could watch you do something and be like, bro, that's incredible, right? And I know I can't hold a candle to it. Like, I can't do it. And that can be super dope. We could watch somebody else do something and be like, man, that's incredible, right? People are incredible. But the toughest thing about life is when people get to a certain like phase or stage in their life and they look back and it's a goal, a dream, or aspiration that they didn't accomplish, right? But they really wanted to. And I often say the pain of regret is far heavier than the price of discipline.
The pain of regret is far heavier than the price of discipline.
Right.
Yeah.
So be disciplined and go at it.
Yeah.
Right? So if it doesn't work out, you can live with it.
Yeah.
You could turn the page.
Yep.
You could say, what's next? Right? The reason I can live with what happened to me and speak about what happened to me, that's at the foundation of everything I do. Because I knew September 9th, 2006, the day my injury happened, I gave the game everything I had. So when the injury happened, as tough as it was to accept, right? As much as it didn't feel good, I could still walk away with my pride, my integrity, and my peace.
Yeah.
Knowing that I gave that moment everything I had. All right, God, what's next? Life, what's next? Cool. But it would be hard to live with if this would have happened to me and I knew I wouldn't have gave the moment everything I had. And I would have had to live with the, man, what if I would have gave everything I had to it?
Yeah.
Man, what if I would have prepared differently? What if I'd have tried differently? And when you take business, family, life, dreams, goals, and aspirations, you got people going 60%, 70%, and it doesn't manifest. For some reason, people are scared of failure.
Yeah.
Right? People are even scared sometimes to give everything they got. They scared of the outcome, right? Because of their conditions, situations, and how they've been wired.
Yeah.
Right? And so I often say to them, man, give everything you got to it. If it doesn't turn out, what's the worst that can happen?
Yep.
You could turn the page. One bad chapter doesn't define the book. Cool. Make peace with it. Move forward. But you don't want to be in a place to where you got to live with the woulda, shoulda, coulda. And if I would have gave everything I had to it, how would it have turned out? People are incredible, man. Like give you everything you got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I had E on the pod. It's the you.
No question. That's one of the realest statements ever that
You
E said.
owe you.
Man, when E said that, I was like, bro, that's cold-blooded. Yeah. And it's real.
Yeah.
It's real, man.
I think, though, a lot of us got too many, like you said, how we were wired. We got crutches, like, my check's going to come next week. This opportunity like, we are so focused on the future and not enough on the present. Like, the present is everything. It's the gift.
That's all you got.
Yeah, so I think we got to just for anybody listening, you got to really tap more into the present and really maxing out. The work ethic, man. Like, and again, how was that developed? I know I remember the stories, and I watch you speak. Every time I watch you speak, it's a new session. Even when you weave in your story, I'm like, me and Marcus be like, yo, this dude's so cold with it, man.
Hey,
like,
Rose, you cold-blooded
man,
too,
you got
man.
the you in the stadium, you and your mom, the headlights, like,
man.
So that's just been, you was sleeping in the house with, I believe, 9 other people.
Yeah, 14.
14.
Yeah, 14.
Talk, and I don't want to, you don't got to go crazy on the backstory, but I want people to understand that you can come from nothing. For those who don't know you, right? I'm pretty sure most people listen know you, but you can come from nothing and make something of yourself. Like just a little bit of that backstory, because somebody right now got an excuse of why it won't work. Oh, I lost my dad. My dad been in jail since I was 2, died there for committing murder. Oh, you know what? You were more privileged than me. You grew up in a 2-parent household. You, like, a lot of people got all these excuses, but most times I realized they weren't sleeping in the house with 14 people. They didn't have some of the upbringings. Like, I didn't have a bad upbringing. I ain't going to try to be like, yo, my upbringing was bad. My mom did a good job raising me. I didn't have my dad. I did get kicked out of high school. I did get kicked out of college. But there's people who had way more that ain't doing nothing.
No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So making excuses.
It's interesting, Neo. Like, and when people have excuses, I often say to them, like, bro, your excuse might be valid. Like, it might be valid. Like, it might be real deal. Like, you might got every right to feel the way you feel. Like, it might be valid. I said, but like character, the great thing about character, I often say to people, I grew up 2-bedroom house, 14 people. Whether you grew up in a 14-bedroom house with 2 people, when both of us came into this world, the physician couldn't come to us in the hospital and say, you inherit character. Right? It had to be cultivated.
Yeah.
Through situations, circumstances, environments, opposition, adversity, successes, failures. And so a thing that my mother taught me at an early age was honoring work. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's honoring it. She taught me that at an early age. And my mother was working a double shift at Wendy's, right? But she taught me, like, Ink, it's honor in working for what you want.
Yeah.
It's honor in saying you're going to give everything you got to something and you actually do it. Not that being predicated upon outcome, because we live in a world that's so transactional. And so because it's so transactional, it affects the work ethic. Right? It affects the dedication and commitment.
Yeah.
Because the world is so transactional.
Yeah. What's in it for me?
What's in it for me? Or it's predicated upon external factors. Neo give me what I want, I'm going to give Neo the optimal level.
Yeah.
Right? If it plays in my favor, I'm going to show up and I'm going to really operate on that level.
Yeah.
And it's not based upon integrity, character, and what we possess as people. And when my mother showed me at an early age, Ink, it's honor and work ethic, right? I'm playing a sport. My mother working a double shift, right? And so for me, everything I did and everything I touched, I wanted to do it in such a way to where I understood at an early age, I was a representation of my lineage and everybody that played a part in my development, right? Maya Angelou has a quote, man, it's so powerful. It says, I come as one, but I stand as 10,000.
Wow.
Right? I'm the representation of the people that shape, cultivate, and mold me into the man that I am. And oftentimes we're selfish. And so it's easy to show up and not give everything you got. It's easy to show up and quit. It's easy to show up and let your work ethic be predicated upon if they said what you wanted to hear, if they gave you what you wanted, right? Like, that's so dangerous, man. Like, showing up, and you can be as great as all get out, but if you show up and it's predicated upon what somebody say to you, the world may never witness your greatness. You could be phenomenal. The world may never get to see it because you tripping off an environment, condition, or situation.
Yeah.
If I would have grew up and said, man, 2-bedroom house, 14 people, family members going in and out of jail, prison, not graduating high school, I'd have still been in Kirkwood, Zone 6 in Atlanta. If you'd have said, man, my father went to prison, this, that, and the third, and allowed that to define you, you probably would have still been where you grew up, right? And so it's always going to be conditions, situations, and circumstances there for you to point to. Like I said, it might be valid, but you dictate what you do with that, right? Like, it's like, man, when you hear that quote, and in its simplicity is yet profound, when you hear the quote that say, it's never about what happens to you, it's about how you respond to it. And people treat it like it's cliche. Cool, but it's so true, right? Same quote that says, play the hand you dealt like it's the one you always wanted. They treat it like it's a cliche, but it's so true. Play the hand you dealt like it's the one you always wanted. That's saying, I don't care what the situation is. I'm going to play it like it's the one I always wanted. I don't care if I'm growing up 2-bedroom house, 14 people. I'm going to take the principles, I'm going to take the things I learned from the people that's poured into me, and I'm going to use this to propel me forward toward my goals, my dreams, and my aspirations. Work ethic included. Yeah.
It's boy different. Hey, I told E, for me, some things are caught and not taught. Like some things you got to be there. So there's a few things I want to just share with you. I never shared with you that I'm telling you has affected the empty the bucket. I got that from you. Like every day I'm really trying to max out my day, bro.
No doubt.
And I talked about it earlier, but I'm just want to share a few things that really empty the bucket. I used to watch your Instagram stories. This inspired me that y'all playing baseball in the house, in the living room. I mean, swinging the bat, boom. And I'm like, that's a big house right there. I got to get me one of them. Like the pool in the back, like Olympic size. I'm like, yeah, I need that. The how you treat your wife is just always honoring that, as well as your kids. It's just
question, man.
So I'm telling you, y'all, you played a huge role in my life, and I really want people to see. Sometimes they looking for mentors. They looking for. It's not wrong with getting a but sometimes you could just see how they act and get everything you need. I never called Inky like, Inky, can you teach me this? I watched the work ethic.
Bingo.
I watched the dedication to your craft.
Bingo.
Every time you speak, it sound different.
Bingo.
I'm like, this dude is different. Another story I got from you, you was talking about this story where you did a job. I want to say this had to be you, and you're about to do it, and you just watch everybody walk over a bottle or something like that. So now when I go to the bathroom, it's just to act, if it's trash on the ground, I'm picking it up. But those things they're huge for me in my personal development, because now I can't half step nothing, bro. I don't know how. You can't hire me for free and I don't give it everything I got. I got that from you and E. It's like, you hire me to do something for free. I almost can't even take a job if I ain't gonna give you all of me. Like I can't do certain, like if you hire me for speaking, if it's free, I can't not bring energy because you're not paying me.
No doubt. Just
everything I do now is like, I gotta give it everything I got, or I can't even be involved. But I got that from you and E.
And can I say something, man? Like you saying this is phenomenal because like Neo elite. You know what I'm saying?
I'm working on it.
But you're an elite individual. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like at what you do, you're elite. Like in the circles you in, like if you ask cats, like, man, tell them about Neo. Neo is an elite cat.
Right.
Like the frequency that he operates on, Neo is elite. Neo can very easily be like, yeah, bro, I'm out here doing my thing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But to have the suppression of ego to say, nah, bro, I looked at this, I saw this, some things are caught, not taught. Like, that's one of the keys right there.
Yeah. I'm a study. Yeah,
like,
I study
because
greatness.
you elite at what you do. And so I just think personally, I ain't mean to interject, but man, that's phenomenal. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, thank you so much for tuning in this episode. I hope you're getting extreme amount of value. I want you to go ahead and comment below. Share with me your biggest takeaway. In addition to that, my number one goal is for me to be able to grow all of my social platforms so I can give you info, insight, strategy, and gain from every platform there is. So take a minute to follow me on Instagram at Neo Davis. So same exact name on Twitter, same exact name on TikTok, and follow me on LinkedIn at Nehemiah Davis. I would love for you to be able to be tuned into my articles and everything that I drop relating to helping you get to that next level in your life. Tune in.
I used to watch one of the videos you did. Man, I can't remember. It's like a 4-minute. It's two of them. One with when E, I think, first introduced you to some joint. I watched that. I forgot the title of that. You had the green on, or he had the green on, but there was another one. I don't know if you was talking to a hockey team or something in Canada. I knew you did so many jobs. But I'm like, I studied
going all the way back. Yeah, that's how I know. Like,
that's how I got the mind right.
Yeah, I was with a hockey team in Canada. Yeah,
in Canada. I watched that video. Yeah, I watched that video every day.
Yeah, Neo
I used
went
to watch
all the way back.
Will Smith every day, 6-minute video, 6 minutes 23 seconds on Tavis Smiley. Like, I will not be beat. If we get on this treadmill, it's either I'm gonna get off or I'm gonna die.
Yeah,
and that's how I've studied like. Things are caught sometimes and not taught.
Good,
I never call. I call Inky whenever I went. I don't call Inky. I watch and then I go work.
That's dope.
And I just wish more people are being, and it's not, get you a coach, get you a mentor, but you can really learn from how they move and just apply those principles in your life, and everything can really change in a short period of time for you.
That's why I say character is when what you do, what you say, and how you live your life becomes one.
Yeah.
Right? I often say if you watch a cat's actions, you ain't got to listen to their words. They're going to tell you everything you need to know.
That's good.
If you watch their actions, you ain't got to listen to their words. They're going to tell you everything you need to know. A cat will trick you. A cat will finesse you with their words.
Yeah, that's good.
Because we can talk so well.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But once you dissect it and you start to look at their actions and you watch their words and see do they reflect or do they betray one another, you'll know everything you need to know, right? And so hearing you say that, that's so true. You know what I'm saying? Not that you need my confirmation on top of it, but that's so true. Like when you watch how cats act, operate, treat people, like that tells you all you need to know in spite of what they say.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so for me, that was how I was raised. Like you watch a cat's example in spite of what they say. So when a cat say, what's character to you, Ink? Characters when what you do, what you say, and how you live your life becomes one. Like it's the same frequency. Like I can hear him say something, I can see him do it, and I can watch the example. That's character. You know what I'm saying? I can learn from that. He's showing me. No question.
That's good. Yeah. And one thing I stopped, man, like I try not to use excuses, man. I really, somebody told me excuses only sound good to the person who uses them.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So I just be trying my best. I'm like, man, like I came late and I'm like, I don't even got no, like I was late. We was looking at the house, but it's done. I'm sorry. Question. You know what I mean? I just tell people, yo, you got to stop. You're not where you need to be because you keep saying all these excuses. Like, what are some things that you talk to sports teams, you talk to corporate, you talk to a lot of high level people, and we got some high level people listening.
Yeah.
How are you getting them to their next game when you're already at a certain level? Is it you got to tap into another being? Like if I'm already at a certain level, in their mind they might feel as though I got this concept never arrive, so I never think I'm ever there.
Absolutely.
I'm never there. But what are you saying to this person, or I don't know, like the conversation that needs to happen to take you to that next level when you already feel like you're there?
Man, that's
because you talk to a lot of you talking to NBA teams. They're at the top. There's nothing higher than the NBA. There's nothing higher than NFL. I don't know.
No, that's a great question, man. Like you go from NFL, NBA to Chick-fil-A, MLB. Like it's just different dynamics.
$1 billion companies.
Yeah, man, it's different, man. And one of the greatest things that I got told when I was younger, Neo, as a teenager, a cat told me one day we was working on just critical thinking. We was working on dissecting problems, problem solving, like in real time though, situations, life. And I was dissecting something and he challenged me. And he said to me, always challenge and reevaluate what you think you know to be true, right? He said, always challenge and reevaluate what you think you know to be true. I said, got it. Which made me say to people, is your software updated? Right? And oftentimes when you say to a cat, man, is your software updated? Cat think you're talking about some form of technology, whether it be the iPhone, iPad, computer, iMac, whatever the case may be. And I'm like, no question. I know you're going to keep that updated. They going to send you the alert. Yep. You know, iPhone's so cold-blooded, they'll send you an alert to tell you to update your phone.
Yeah.
Right? But what I'm speaking to is the knowledge base, is the information, the things you need in your toolkit to get to where you're trying to go and become the person that you need to become. Is it updated? Always challenge and reevaluate what you think you know to be true. Now, it was a certain source of information that you had at a certain period that may have played to your advantage.
Yeah.
During a certain time period that got you to where you are. And now you're trying to get to the next level. It says it. Every next level of our lives demands a new version of us. Stages and phases, lessons and blessings. And so the dangerous thing about life, Neo, if a person is not cognizant, evolving, growing, and challenging themselves, you can have something that's been an advantage for you your whole life, right? A gift, a talent, an ability, a skill. It's been an advantage for you your whole life.
Yep.
It's helped you navigate situations. It's helped you win. It's helped you get out of situations. It's helped you overcome opposition in that It's been an advantage for you your whole life. And then you can get to a certain stage and phase and you can't break through the ceiling. You can't get to where you're trying to go.
Yeah.
Right? Because the thing that was once your advantage has now become your disadvantage because you haven't evolved and grew past that level. Right? You haven't updated the toolkit. Prime example, I'm an extremely ambitious individual, extremely driven individual. Been that way my whole life. Right? Nothing wrong with that. Everybody should have a little bit of that. But when I get a wife and some children, now I gotta temper that a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if not, I can be so ambitious and driven, I can drive myself right into becoming a public success, but a private failure. I can accomplish everything I seek to accomplish.
Yeah.
Because my ambition and my skill set will take me there. But it'll also take me away from my wife and my children. Right?
Jeez.
And so you gotta update the toolkit. You gotta update the software. And you got to pay attention to the things that was once your advantage and make sure where you're trying to go, that it's not becoming a disadvantage, right? And so you got to always be willing to challenge and reevaluate what you think you know to be true when you're trying to get to other levels in your life and accomplish other things.
Yeah. That's good. Golly. Jeez. Boy, always saying something profound, man. Y'all see, that's why I be studying them, man. You gotta pay attention to it,
man.
Man, this is good, man. Any like for you, what are you studying right now? What is keeping you keep updating your toolkit? Is it people? Is it books? Anything that's made a profound impact on your life lately? Like that's keeping you driving. Yeah,
just trying to become a better leader. In every aspect of my life.
I need coaching on that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All of us do. Man. You know what I'm saying? Trying to become, man, a better leader, trying to become more effective as a communicator, as a husband, as a father, and just as a servant, and just with my squad, man, because one of the things I learned about me, man, I heard a gentleman say something, and I was like, that's it. Like, that's something I need in my toolkit. And it talked about challenge and support, right? And so for me, I come from a sports background. I played sports the majority of my life. I got thick skin, right? Like, you could say something to me and you could think you being harsh or crazy, but it'll roll off my back like water off a duck.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't gonna bother me at all.
Yeah.
I come from that type of environment. I'm cool, right? And so when dealing with people, like, I used to like to challenge people a lot because I come from sports. And so we challenge, we go at each other, right? I wasn't a big talker, right? Because I wasn't raised there. I was raised, man, you lead by example. If something needs to be said, you say it, right? And so one of the things I would do with my circle often, and sometimes my children, I would challenge them when I felt as if they wasn't operating on the level that they were capable of operating at. And so sometimes it would go well, sometimes it wouldn't.
Tell me about that. How are you challenging them? Are you saying something to them?
Yeah.
Tell me
like
about
say
that.
something to them, like in the form of a challenge. Like, man, come on, you can do better than that.
Yeah.
Like, come on, bro, you can make that happen. Like, come on, man, I know you could do that. I know you could put out more than that. Like, just challenging them, right? And sometimes it will go well, and sometimes it will backfire, right? Sometimes a person may go in the shell. Sometimes a person may not respond, right? And so I had to start trying to figure it out. It's like the captain of a team. Everybody doesn't respond the same, right? Some cats you could look at, they'll get the signal and be like, I got you. Some cats you could say one word to them. They like, bro, I got you. Other cats you could chew them out. They like, bet, I'm riding with you. Some cats, you ain't got to say nothing to them. You could just pat them on the shoulder. They're like, bro, I'm ready to ride. And so trying to figure that out in this world has been different, and even from a family dynamic. And so a cat said you always got to be willing to support and then challenge, right? And what I was doing was, from a leadership standpoint, I would just challenge, right? I just thought the support came in the form of, man, they know I'm supporting them, I'm here, right? It's like a father that never tells a son or a daughter, I love you, right? Wow. And so you challenge men. I think one of the best things you could do for children is teach them how to put language to their emotions and convictions, right? Especially as men. As men, we don't express ourselves, right?
I don't.
You know what I'm saying? Like, all of us have dealt with it, right? Yeah. And so a father that's never shared with his daughter or son, I love you, will make the assumption that they know I love them. I'm coming home every day. They got a roof over their head, put food on the table, I give them clothes. Like, they know I love them. And the kids can say, I ain't never heard it, right? He challenges me a lot. He comes at me a lot. I ain't never heard it. I don't know. The father is sitting there like, they got to know I love them. I'm in the crib, and he very well might love them. From a leadership standpoint, you challenge them. You never really support them, but you think just like the father with his children. Man, they know I support them. I'm here. Yeah. We on the same team. Right? But if you never express it and you challenge them, sometimes the challenge can go south because they can feel as if, man, like he never supported me. And so what happens when you support them and then challenge them, now the challenge has legs to stand on because you've been there and supported them in times of opposition, in times of challenge, in times when they didn't feel like it, in times when they had something going on in their personal life. Now when you challenge them, they're like, no doubt, I got you. You was there for me when I went through this. Yeah. No doubt, I got you. I'm going to raise the level you right. You was there for me when I didn't feel like it. And oftentimes we want to challenge people and not support them. And so we have to always be willing to support and then challenge from a leadership standpoint. And that's something that I've really been pressing and driving home this year, just as a man growing in that area and learning how to function with different people and not just being this cat that's high level and want to get the best out of people. Intentions are pure. You know what I'm saying? You really care, but you got to find a method to be the most efficient and effective to help not only get the best out of them, but just the ecosystem as a whole to make sure y'all all going in the same direction.
That's good. Same thing with your wife too.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I got to work on that, man.
Oh, we all do. We all do, bro.
Yeah, I got to work on all of that.
We all do, man.
Top of the game speaker, man. Like, I'm talking about you book. I remember this kid you were working with. I think his name was KD, and he was like, man, Ink booked for the whole next year or something. This, and then the pandemic happened or whatever.
No question.
How are you staying on top of your game? Like, how are you? Because you said, I want to keep becoming an effective communicator. I'm like, can you become any better? You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you? Because I want to get in the head of people at the top of their game talking about, how do LeBron get better?
Right.
You know what I mean? How do you get better when you booked every day, every week?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Demanding whatever you want to come do your thing. Like, what's some things you are doing right now to make yourself better or to become a better speaker?
Preparation. Right. I got asked a question about discipline.
Yeah.
And I said, man, it's great to be disciplined, but you have to make sure you're being intentional with the discipline to make sure it's interconnected to growth. And so it's just like speaking and communication. You could be speaking a lot and not growing.
Yeah.
Right. Because you're just in the routine of speaking and you're booked, right? For whatever reason, you're doing your thing and you're great, but you're not growing as a communicator. And so for me, one of the things that took me to the next level is, like we just spoke about earlier, I might be speaking at Chick-fil-A, I might be with Home Depot, I might be with a baseball team, I might be in Canada with a hockey team, I might be with the Wizards, I might be at education. Like, I speak in every sector, right? For most people, they speak, it's very few people that really cross over like that.
Yeah.
Like, of course,
one
E,
group.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But most people, they got their sector and they do well and they dominate it. But it's very few people
that could do
that
all
cats could just pick up the phone and be like, hey, I got some cats at a hockey team in Canada. Hey, I got these cats in education. And they can come in and they can get busy, right? And so for me, the thing that really challenged me early on with doing that is I wanted to become diverse in my methods of communication. And I did it intentionally, right? I could have turned down some of the gigs and been like, nah, I'm cool. I'm going to just do sports. And probably would still be booked with just sports because that's where I come from. I did it because it placed me so far outside of my comfort zone that I knew I had to respond, right? It placed me so far outside of my comfort zone. And so when I did that, I was like, okay, Ink, like you don't live in this world, right? And when I say this world, whatever the sector may have been at the time, hockey, I never played hockey. Like, Ink, you don't live in this world. Chick-fil-A, I ain't never worked at Chick-fil-A. You know what I'm saying? I don't live in that world. Striker, I don't sell medical devices and beds to hospitals, right? What's going even the playing field? Preparation. So when I speak to them, earlier Ink would get on the phone and conference call and say, they would introduce themselves. I would introduce myself and I would say, all right, this is what I'm gonna come in and talk about.
Yeah.
It's early Ink. It's year 1, 2, 3 Ink. Now I'm in year 16. 1, 2, 3 Ink. Out, man, I'm gonna talk about this. I can't wait to be on stage. I'm gonna do this. Now, for the past few years, it's changed. Now we pitching and catching. Okay, like, is there a book that you all are reading as a company right now? Yeah, Ink, we reading this. Can I get that? Would y'all send me that? Absolutely. Any information y'all going over as a company right now, right? Whether you feel it's relevant to me or not, whether somebody is going to discuss it at the conference or not, will you all be willing to send that to me? Absolutely. Is there a theme? Are there buzzwords, right? Is there something that you saw from me online that you feel will resonate, whether it be a story, anything that you think will bridge the gap, right? So now it's more so about me serving the audience, the clients, getting all the information possible that I can get. So when I step on that stage, I'm as prepared as possible to go any direction I want to go. Most cats will see me step on the stage and be like, he ain't got no slides. All right, he ain't got no paper in his hand. All right, where my man finna go? I know exactly where I'm going. Yeah. Right? Because I've been preparing for almost a month with every piece of information that they've sent me. I'm studying a company like I studied homework when I was in school. Right? Because I realized, Neo, it's real lives on the other side of my words.
Wow.
Like it's real lives on the other side of my words. Right? I ain't looking at it like, man, I'm gonna just come in and speak and then I'm gonna bounce. Nah, my man might take this and go home and talk to his son. Be like, hey man, I heard this gentleman speak about this today. Hey son, check this out. Or might take it home to their daughter. Like a lady might take this home to her daughter and say, hey, I heard this young man speak about this today. I think this could really add value to your life. And a daughter might be like, okay, cool, I'm gonna go check him out. Like they might take it to an uncle that's struggling with addiction. It might take it to an uncle or aunt that's fighting for their life in the hospital. Like it's real lives on the other side of my words. And so I would do the process of disservice in the form of communication if I ever stepped on that stage with lack of preparation. Knowing what can happen and transpire as a result of if I stepped on that stage prepared with my form of communication down packed and I get in there and I get busy, right? It can really impact a person's life. I don't say change. I don't use that word often and say, man, I change an individual's life because I believe if a person is going to change, they're going to do it on their own dime and time. But I do believe I could say something that can spark a thought that can impact an individual's life.
Hey, sorry to stop the episode. I know you're probably wondering, Neil, I always see you with that brand on. How can I be a part of it? How can I get the official gear of every entrepreneur in the world? What I need you to do is go to newageceos.com so you can get your gear. We got something for women. We got something for men. We got something for spring. We got something for fall. We got something for winter. We want to make sure you have the official gear of every entrepreneur in the world. Go to newageceos.com.
And so for me, communication is all about how can I be the most prepared so when I step on that stage, I'm as confident as possible to be effective and efficient with my message while understanding that, man, it's real lives on the other side of these words. And so let's get up here and let's do our thing.
Yeah, that's powerful. Ooh, preparation. But it also brings me to, sometimes you might get a job where they calling you tomorrow.
No question.
But because you've been preparing for so long,
man.
Now you just go, because I be watching E just going there like, wait, what we talking about today? And it's just on.
Absolutely.
You know? And I know you can do the exact same thing. But that's putting that work in the dark.
That's it.
Most people are unwilling to put work in I tell people that you was alluding to it earlier. Most people miss out on opportunities because the paycheck not tied to them. Like so many people,
So real.
Like you aren't preparing for your opportunity. So when the opportunity come, you ain't even ready for it. Like I teach event spaces and things like that. I'm like, yo, you may don't have a credit right now. You may don't. That don't mean they'll stop you from learning all of these things now. So when all those things come in place, you ready? People, it seem like some people only want to work when it's favorable. You was kind of talking about like, yo, you got to be willing to put work in when no one is seeing you. Like you're practicing because you preparing for a game. Who knows when the game gonna come? Or
what AI say, Neo, we talk about practice.
Yeah. And you know, it's so funny. I don't know if you know a lot. Well, I'm sure you know, but it's so funny how they so essentially when he was talking about practice, he just lost his best friend or something, and it was like they chopped that up. You talking about y'all worrying about practice when I lost my best friend.
Absolutely. And so it's deep.
Yeah, it's different. Just how
it's interesting, Neo. Like it's so true what you're saying, and you just like you hope that cats catch it and pay attention and not take it for granted. Because sometimes the most simple things are the most effective.
Yeah.
And so you think about the things that were told to us back in the day, whether it was by our elders, teachers, whatever the case may be. Now it's presented a little bit more fancy in the world that we live in because of the access in terms of technology, books, information. But it's the same thing the elders told us years ago. They just didn't say it as fancy, but they told it to us. And oftentimes it was so simple that we ignored it. And so when you talk preparation, when you talk value and opportunities, when you talk working in the dark, not taking things for granted, like all of these things are life skills that can translate and carry over into every aspect of our life. And so when you think about why people don't accomplish, oftentimes the things that they seek to accomplish or the life that they seek to live, it's not that they don't possess what it takes, it's that they don't have the courage to prepare and make a space for it. Right? Like long before you became the millionaire guy you became, you was already preparing for that.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Like my guy Jesse, like I love Jesse Isler line, man, when he say like, when Jess say, I told my business partner, we millionaires, they ain't cut the check yet. You know what I'm saying? Like that headspace to go in and prepare every single day and say, nah, it's coming. We just ain't got it yet.
Yeah.
Like that's the dream.
Yeah.
Right, when Kobe talk about it, and he say, in the gym, late nights, putting up shots, like working, staying consistent, dedicated, getting up in the morning.
Tape. He said he watched every game tape.
All of that. He said, that's the dream.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But people think when you arrive at a certain destination or you see it manifest in the material, that's the dream. Nah, that's part for the course. The dream is the process. That's why I always say to cats, Neo, what's more important, what you acquire or who you become? And most cats think what they acquire is the thing that makes them who they are. No, it's who you become in the process of chasing what you want to acquire. Because it's going to turn you into somebody, whether you want to or not. Whatever it is that we chasing, it's going to turn you into somebody, right? Now, who it turns you into, you dictate that. It's not what we acquire. We all will acquire things. There's nothing wrong with that. You chase it, you work hard, you should acquire that. You earn that, right? But who will it turn you into? Will you become the person that will compress and become tight? It's like a cat when they get money and they close their hand. It's like, cool, you caught it, but you can't receive any more because you're not opening your hand up. The same thing works for life, right? When we're chasing what we want to chase, when we're trying to grow, trying to get to certain levels, like you got to be open, man. Like you got to prepare space and place, man. You got to be courageous to chase things and be cool with if it doesn't work out. Be cool with if it doesn't pan out, right? Some of the greatest blessings come in the form of adversity, opposition, and challenges, or things not going the way that we thought they would go. I never thought I would speak.
Crazy.
That's why I'm so humbled by it, Neo. Like the humbling part of it is I thought I was going to play ball.
Yeah.
Loved every bit of it. Never knew anything about, bro, they put me in public speaking in college. I dropped the class on the second day.
Wow.
Didn't want nothing to do with it. Professor, like, where you going? I'm like, man, I ain't speaking.
Yeah.
And now I speak for a living. The places I've been, the things I've been able to do, the lives I've been able to impact, like, bro, it's unbelievable. And so to think that there was a plan that was a lot greater than mine, already manifesting and already in place. That's humbling, right? And so the way I live my life is, man, be courageous and be willing to chase it and prepare a space for it, that even if it doesn't turn out in the form of what you expected, you still cool with it because of the individual that you put forth in terms of your efforts in trying to accomplish it. And oftentimes, if we can't see it, right, if it's dim, you're like, nah, that ain't for me. And I always say to cats, don't waste the experience.
What you mean? Talk about that.
Do not waste the experience. If we look at a journey, something that we want to accomplish, don't turn out the way we want it to, we throw it to the side. Nah, man, I'm cool on that. That ain't it, right? And we waste the experience. And it's like, no, don't waste that. Learn from it. Point in case, past 2 years, pandemic, Corona, COVID, it changed the world. Literally. Schedules, right? People lost their lives, just a different time. I got up in a room in St. Louis. I said, can somebody share with me something that they're thankful for as a result of the different times that we're in? Gentleman stood up in the back of the room, talking about my man, huge. My man, traps up to his ears. Man, looked like he supposed to have been casted in the movie 300, right? I'm talking about the room got quiet. You could tell my man was like the dude, you know what I'm saying? And he stood up and he was just crying, bro. He was bawling. And he was like, I'm thankful I got to watch my first child being born. He said, I knew, man, if I was working the same schedule, I never would have got the opportunity to witness that moment. And the moment was so powerful that my man stood up in the room. He had already had the baby. And it brought tears to him on that day that the moment was so powerful.
Wow.
And it brought enough perspective with it that my man said, I'm thankful. If my schedule was the same, I knew I never would have got the opportunity to witness that moment. He said, what's something you thankful for, Ink? I said, I'm thankful for 3 p.m. He said, why 3 p.m.? I said, most days, man, I get to be in the carpool line picking my kids up from school. He was like, the carpool line? I was like, yeah, man, I be racing cats in the carpool line. I said, the carpool line, but not the carpool line. He said, what you mean by that? I said, it's more so about trained optimism, not fantasy land. Not looking at a situation and acting as if it doesn't exist. No, I'm going to acknowledge it for what it is. But I'm also going to go to a space and place and say, all right, what's the lesson in it? What's the blessing in it? Not wasting the experience. My arm and my hand is paralyzed. My heart isn't. Not wasting the experience. My arm and my hand is paralyzed. My mindset isn't. Not wasting the experience. I could get up every single day and say, man, I got a paralyzed arm and hand. Or I could say, my arm and my hand is paralyzed, but I'll never allow a situation or a circumstance to dictate or determine my life. I'm going to use this arm and hand every day of my life for the rest of my life by the way that I live my life. That's trained optimism and not wasting an experience that most of the world view to be traumatic.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
This guy's different, man. We're about to bring this to a wrap in a second. And you said something earlier, and I just really want people. I've been a full-time entrepreneur now 15 years, and my biggest thing that I say is it has to work or it has to work. 15 years ago,
I love that when you say that.
I became mentally unemployable.
Wow.
Which meant, because we were talking earlier, I knew this was going to work. I didn't know when it was going to work. I knew I was going to impact lives. I knew I would retire my mom. I knew I would retire my wife. I knew I would provide for my family. I didn't know I would impact millions of lives. That's the goal anyway. But a lot of people, goals don't come true because they're not certain of it. I was certain that it was going to work. I tell people all the time, it's like an actor or actress who going to LA. Yo, I'm about to be a full-time entrepreneur. A full-time actress. But soon as you put the word but in there, you telling your subconscious mind that it ain't going to work.
Absolutely.
I knew this was going to work. I just didn't know when it was going to work. So I'm literally just trying to let people know, like, yo, you got to know it's, like, I know by the shadow of a doubt, in 2023, if people give it everything they got, this could be the year that everything changes. But you can't retreat from it. A lot of people are like, well, did you ever think about quitting? I never thought about quitting. Like, what about all the hard times? I didn't even really look at the hard times as hard times because I knew it was a part of the process. And I know you always talk about the process and how important the process is. So I just want people to really understand wherever they're at in their journey, like, yo, keep going to, like, you got to go through some stuff to get to your stuff. Like, they gotta understand that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Neo, what would you tell a cat?
Yeah.
Like, because your journey is unconventional.
Yeah.
And like to hear you say, like, bro, I knew it was gonna work. I didn't know when, but I knew it was gonna work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, cats just don't think like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You got to give yourself no other option.
Yeah.
Like, I gave myself no other, like, I knew it was, once you got kicked out of high school, kicked out of college, fired from 10 jobs, it's not a lot of other options you got. I didn't have many other options.
Right on.
Go back to a job, which I could do. Go back to college. Like, I didn't have, the job thing wasn't working. I got fired from 10 of them. I wasn't good at it.
Yeah, no question.
So I think you got to switch. It got to be a switch that comes on of, I got to go make this work. Like, I got a few switches that I got. I got the January 1st switch, which means treat every day like it's January 1st. The concept, most people are the most excited on January 1st. New Year's resolution. They got weight loss goals, weight gain goals, promotion goals, business goals. But what if you could keep that mindset for all 365 days? You're going to be on fire every single day.
No question.
Another thing I say is hold on to the vision. I used to write down I was getting a Bentley GTC. That was my dream car. And I also was writing down I would fly on private jets. It didn't happen for 9 years after I got fired from the job. Year 1, it didn't happen. Year 2, it didn't happen. Year 3, it didn't happen. Year 4, it didn't happen. Year 5, it didn't happen. Like, it never happened. I watched it happen for you on the Wheels Up jet. It still didn't happen. You know what I mean? Like,
no question.
year 7 didn't happen. Most people have already tapped out by year 1 or year 2. They done already. Mentally is open. Life happened to them. Used to say something about life gonna punch you in your mouth.
Absolutely.
Somebody right now, you gonna listen to this episode, you gonna be on fire, and tomorrow life is gonna punch you right in your mouth.
That's a fact.
And then guess what? You done.
Done.
That's a mental game. People, and it's so funny. And I teach all these skills, whether making money online, and entrepreneurship, and all of that. And most people never make it happen. But when I start talking about mindset, it's fluff. You don't have a skill set problem. You got a mindset problem. You got to know this thing gonna work. So when I say hold on to your vision, it was 9 years, and my mentor called me up, and he like, yo, I got a like, you still like, hey, can you available? So yeah, what we gonna do? We about to fly a jet out. I'm like, meet me at the office in an hour. I'll be there.
Yeah.
And he said also, when I got there, he said, here go the keys to the Bentley. You gonna drive it to the jet.
Wow.
I said, whoa. And I realized in that moment the importance of holding on to your vision. It's not always when it's gonna, I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I know it's gonna happen.
Yeah, man.
But that's the mentality of, it's like going to an island, what they used to say, like, it was a group of people, I don't remember the full story, but they went to some island and they burnt all the boats. They said, yo, what happened? We gotta go take this land now. We don't got a way out. And us as people, we give ourselves too many ways out.
That's good.
I don't got no way out.
Ooh, that's strong.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I don't got a way out of this thing, man.
That's strong, man.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
y'all got to pick up what he putting down. That's strong. That's strong.
Man.
Yeah, that's strong,
Man,
bro.
I'm grateful for you, man. Thanks for
question.
just taking time. Lead the people with some just encouraging word and
Yeah,
let
man.
people know where they can find you, man. I don't
Yeah,
know if you got
man. No
anything out
question.
you want them to get, books,
No question,
programs,
man.
like this my guy, y'all.
Yeah,
Listen,
man.
played a huge role in my life, has impacted me, top speaker in the world. And again, some of y'all got to realize some of the people who are your mentors, you don't even got to have connection with. Just look at what they do. And you could,
Fact.
I've learned so much by looking and doing. That's the other thing, Inky. People looking, but they don't do. They inspired, but they ain't. I'm inspired to take action.
No question.
I ain't just gonna watch you get busy.
question.
I'm gonna go get busy too.
question.
Because that's my example. So I look at you, I look at
Fact.
the ETs, I look at a lot of people, and y'all my examples of I could go do this.
No doubt.
I just really need people to just take that away and stop feeling as though you're not capable. Like Inky isn't the only person that could be one of the top speakers in the
Absolutely.
world. Somebody listening who aspire to be a speaker, you're capable.
Absolutely.
You want to be a better entrepreneur, you're capable, but you got to go all in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I read something, man, that said it's not that you don't have what it takes, it's that you don't realize sometimes it's gonna take everything you got.
Ooh, say that again. That's good.
You know what I'm saying?
Ooh.
Like, it's not that you don't have what it takes. It's just sometimes you don't realize it's gonna take everything you got. blood, sweat, tears, everything, right? I often say to people, man, make your time count and make your presence felt, right? Make your time count and your presence felt. And that's in every aspect of life and everything we do, right? Life is not promised to nobody. I ain't saying what happened to me gonna happen to you. Life is not promised to nobody. The fragility of it, right? Make your time count and make your presence felt. You got goals, dreams, and aspirations. Have the courage to chase them, regardless of how it may turn out. Just have the courage to chase them. Just see what you possess as a person. Push yourself to the limit for once in your life and see what you possess and see how it turn out, right? Just for once. Yeah.
As part, I want to say this too real quick, y'all. This dude's so cold-blooded, right? Hold on, let me go see where he at on Instagram real quick. Yo. My man's so good. You lost your Instagram. I don't remember how long ago.
Yeah, they hacked me.
And you was basically like, forget it. My man was booked and busy. No, I lose my gram.
You remember that?
My money gonna get affected. I'm letting y'all know that, right? I got some other things we cool, but I'm saying, yo, he took off of the gram, said, I don't even care about that. Got busy, booked every day, back to 500K.
Yeah, man.
It's just crazy. When you're good, they gonna come find you.
Absolutely.
That's pop. Like when you are good, they gonna come find.
Absolutely.
And my mentor the other day said something, Inky, he said something so good. He said, there's no competition at the top. Like the level that you're playing at, the work ethic that you had, the things that you're doing, most people are unwilling to do it. So you are you won't reach the top because your work ethic won't even allow you to do so. Think about my guy Marcus about the book Madison Square Garden, doing all of that. No one else can compete. You're unwilling to put your money where your mouth is to go do it.
Yes, indeed.
So you're not at that point.
Yeah.
So just when I thought about it, I'm like, man, my man could took off the gram.
Yeah, man.
I'm like, I'm cool.
Yeah.
They give it back to me, I get it back.
That's
and
it.
built it from scratch again.
That's it. The frequency, Neo. Like the frequency, what you speaking about, the frequency that you operate on and people that are elite operate on, like it's that rare air.
Yeah.
And everybody don't get to breathe it. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody can't survive it.
Yeah.
You got to be built for it.
That's like when you in that one of them fast planes. I don't know. You know, them fighter jets. Everybody can't handle that.
F-18s,
you got goggles on.
You got to be built for it.
Yeah.
You got to be built for it, man. Because like people always talk about what they want and what they want to accomplish. I remember a young athlete came to me once and he told me all these things he was going to do, all these things he was going to accomplish. And my man was crazy talented. And I said, all right, all that sound great. Now what you going to sacrifice in order to make it happen? It's cool that we want to do it, but you're going to have to give up some stuff in order to make it happen. Yeah. Right? Some stuff going to have to die off in order to make it happen. And so that's why I say, man, it's not that you don't have what it takes. That you don't realize sometimes it's going to take everything you got, sacrifice included. Right?
I got to write that down, man.
Yes, sir.
Man, that's powerful. But y'all, listen, thank y'all for tuning in, man. Follow Inky Johnson Motivates on Instagram, y'all. #1 speaker in the world. Book him. Anybody here, corporate companies, if y'all want somebody that's going to come in and literally motivate your staff to take it to the next level, to help increase the income in your business, to get the most out of your staff, y'all, and just pair, y'all got to get with my guy. But y'all, thank y'all for tuning in to another episode. We see y'all in the next one, y'all. Peace.
My God.